Hey everyone, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa, and I am here with a video that I decided to make because I get a question a lot of times in the comments on my videos, on my haul videos, on the haul follow-up videos, and that question is what scanner do I use for scanning items into Amazon? People who haven't started Amazon or are looking into starting it want to know what sort of scanner to buy to scan items into Amazon. And here's the thing, I don't use a scanner. They do sell scanners that you can plug into your phone and you can use that to, automatically scan items when you're out at stores or garage sales or wherever you are to scan items for Amazon. But you don't need one of those. If you use one of those, it goes probably a little quicker. Maybe even you save your battery life. I'm not sure about that because that probably takes some power from the phone anyway. But you don't need one, and that is an added expense. It's also kind of bulky. Like, to me, I like to be able to keep my phone in my pocket. So, if I got like a scanner on there, it's going to make it a little more bulky, and women's pockets are not very large. So, we like our smaller phones, at least I have an iPhone 5, like an iPhone 6 or those like big Samsung ones are too big. I mean, they're not going to fit nicely in a pocket. I actually just found one of those Samsung phones in the bathroom in a store I was at yesterday. Probably because someone had to take it out of their pocket just to use the bathroom, and they stuck it on the toilet paper dispenser thing. And so I walk in there, I was like, oh crap, so I picked it up and brought it out to the cashier. But, so hopefully they didn't get all the way home and realize they left their phone there and we're still in the store and we're able to pick it up. But anyway, I'm rambling. So if you have a smartphone, pretty much, I guess, of any kind, like an iPhone or an Android, you'll be able to scan items right with your phone. I don't know that it'll work with like a BlackBerry or one of those type of phones because those are a little different, but if you're rocking a BlackBerry, it might be time to upgrade. But anyway, so if you have like an iPhone, even an older one, probably even an iPhone 4, it'll work. I know it works fine with the 5 because that's what I use. You will be able to scan items, and all you need to do is use the camera that's built into your phone, and you don't even have to do anything special with it to get it to work. So what I figured I would do is I would show you just how it works, and it's really, really easy to use. Now, I personally use a paid app when I'm out scanning. I kind of got hooked on it when it was cheaper. It's the Profit Bandit app, and when it first came out, or when I signed up for it anyway, I think it was like a one-time fee, and it was cheap. Like, I think it was like $10 or $15 or something like that, and then you just used it forever. Well, they decided they weren't making enough money doing that, and they were smart, so they charged a monthly fee to use the app. I think it's $15 a month that I pay, and to me it's just well worth it. I totally get my money's worth out of it, so I have no problem paying that $15 a month. But if you don't want to, pay that money, especially if you're just getting started out, you can use the Amazon seller app. To me, it takes a little bit longer when I scan items to Amazon. There's like a few extra seconds in there, which if you're pressed for time and, trying to do this in a hurry, that could, it could annoy you. It's also harder for me, maybe because I'm used to Profit Bandit, but it's harder for me to see what's going on as terms of like how much I'm going to make on an item. I can really see that instantly when I scan into Profit Bandit. So I'm going to show you both methods and how easy it is to do. And so what I have is actually a book that I just bought yesterday. Like I said, I was at stores. It's a local history book, one of these Images of America book on Souderton. I actually go to a thrift store in Souderton, but I didn't get this there. Anyway, I got at another thrift store. But anyway, so I'm going to show you how it works. Now, as you can see, it's a barcode on the back of the book. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my phone turned on here, and I'm going to open my Profit Bandit app. Well, here's the last thing I guess I scanned. It looks something like that. I'm going to see if I can do a screenshot of that for you. So anyway, what we're looking at here is the last item I guess I scanned, which was a DVD. It was also by the thrift store, but this one happened to be new. So we're seeing the Profit Bandit page for that. And that's just, to give you an idea of what it looks like. So now what I'm going to do is actually show you how to scan an item and how to bring up that information. So Now to scan this book, I'm going to have to change my app, change the settings here from new to used, because this is a used book. It even has a little bit of damage on it, as you can see there. And I am going to, that looks weird, okay. The buy price is actually the same. That is the price that is in the bottom. That white box that's down there, I can adjust that. I can, when I click on it, it brings up the keypad and I can enter whatever I'm buying the item for. But this book happens to be $1 too, just like that DVD. I think it was $1. Might have even been 50 cents, but we'll just say $1. Anyway, so I got that. So what I have to do is actually hit the scan button. What I have to do is hit the scan button that's in the upper corner there, that orange button. And I'm going to actually show you what happens when I hit that button. So if I hit scan, what it actually does is it brings up the camera. See, there I am. Woo! It brings up the camera on my phone. And once I hold it over the barcode, it'll recognize the barcode and bring that up. Now, I guess if you had like a plug-in barcode scanner, you could set it up that it would automatically use that when you hit the scan button. But without that, it's set up to use your phone. Your phone's built-in camera. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try to do this in front of the camera here, see if it works. I'm going to scan the barcode on the back of the book. So I got to do this like backwards. So anyway, it brings up this page, and I will do a screenshot of it for you so you can see it. And what we're seeing here is the Profit Bandit page for this particular item, the Souderton book. So we see the title at the top, we see a picture of the item, we see the list price, doesn't really matter too much for us. We see the rank based on the category that's in, which is books. 2 million rank for books is not so great, but it's also not so bad. I will probably send this in. I know some people won't send in something with a rank above 1 million, but 2 million to me, that's going to sell. And also, there's no one else selling at FBA other than Amazon selling it new. So, I can send in a used one to FBA and it probably will sell. And how do I know all that? Well, all that information is right here below. In the red column, we see all the FBA sellers, and we only have one. It's Amazon. We know it's Amazon because there's that black logo with the Amazon A there. We can see the green column there, those are all merchant fulfilled sellers, so there's 20 people selling it new. We can see the blue column, that's the used merchant fulfilled sellers, and there's like 9 used copies. For whatever reason, the lowest new price is actually lower than the lowest used price. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, I feel reasonably confident that I'm going to sell this for $17, maybe $16. So towards the very bottom, we see our actual profit, and that is it says profit in green, and it says $11.51. That's what I can expect to make about on this book, which is a pretty good deal for a $1 investment. Now, the way it figures that is it's already calculating all my Amazon fees. It's calculating my inbound shipping costs, which I have set in here by the, how much I'm paying per pound. I forget what I have. But anyway, I have it set a little bit high, and that's just to protect myself. Sometimes there are items where maybe Amazon's only having me send in like 10 things to a certain warehouse, so it's going to actually cost a little more than if I had a box of like 30 things going to that warehouse or whatever. You also have to account for things like shipping supply costs and stuff like that, so I set it a little bit high just to protect myself so I don't lose any money on the deal, and this isn't one I'm going to lose any money on, so I'm not worried. But anyway, as you can see, that was really easy to do. I mean, we just hit that scan button. It brings up the camera. It actually took me a few seconds longer because I was doing backwards and trying to get the camera position correctly. If you've ever, if you shop at Target, I'm sure you have the Cartwheel app and scan items all the time with that. And it's the same idea. It's just using your camera to, take a picture of the barcode and, scan it in. And the way this app is set and the way the Amazon Seller app is set, it recognizes when it can read the barcode through the camera. So what I'm going to do is actually show you how it works with the Amazon Seller app too. So for those of you that aren't familiar with it, the Amazon Seller app is a free app, and you can just download that. Anyone can download it. I guess you have to have an Amazon Seller account to download. I don't know if you need to be a pro seller. Anyone who knows that, just please chime in. But anyway, it's a free app. There's no charge for it. To me, it's a little bit clunkier to use. It takes a little bit longer, and I can't quite see all the information I want to see right at my fingertips. But anyway, so I bring it up. I hit the 3 lines that are there to the side, and I am going to bring up product search. So it brings up a page that looks like that. I'll screenshot it again. Anyway, what we want actually is off to the side, there's that little blue button that says scan. So when I click that, guess what? It does the same thing where it's, let me get the book behind it so we can see what, or I'll just bring my face up here. It brings up the camera. So same idea. It looks a little different. With the Amazon Seller app, you have to hold the phone landscape-wise. With Profit Bandit, it'll do it either way. I think so. I seem to think with Amazon you have to have it this way or else it doesn't work. That's my experience. Anyone else that uses the app more often can let me know. But anyway, so I'm going to try to do it and get that right there. Okay, it scanned it and I got some weird error message. Don't see your product, create a new listing. Why? Oh, you know, because it's scanning both barcodes. Let me get it because it's a book and it's got that extra little 4 digits at the end there, and it doesn't like that apparently in the Amazon app. See, this is why the Amazon app drives me crazy, because it's just such a pain to use. There we go. I just got the first barcode, and so it brings up a page that looks like this, and I will screenshot it. And we still have to click on the item to find out more information about it, so I'm going to do that. See, it's like all these extra little steps with Amazon. Anyway, so then it brings up a page like this. I screenshot that too so I can show it to you. Anyway, we really have the same information, almost the same information. We have the low price, $17.21, the fees, $3.33, and gross proceeds, $13.88. Now, that isn't really true. Remember, on my Profit Bandit app, it was showing me a little bit different because it's also accounting for the cost of shipping it to Amazon. And so, you know, if you were just using the Amazon Seller app, I think you might make some mistakes if you weren't familiar with using it. I don't know if there's a way to set the fees to account for inbound shipping or what, because honestly, I don't use the Amazon Seller app for scanning items because I'm so used to Profit Bandit. Important thing, the only thing I really use the Amazon Seller app for is down below there where it says selling eligibility and that green check mark, because there are items that I can't sell on Amazon, even though it's in like maybe a category I'm approved for, because the brand is restricted or the item is restricted for some reason. I can't send it in, so I do like to use the Amazon Seller app to check for that. I don't normally check books because there's never really any issue with a book, but some different types of items I might check. But anyway, the point is anyone can do this. If you have a smartphone, you have a built-in scanner in your camera that will scan barcodes using different apps, either Amazon Seller app, Profit Bandit app. There's other apps out there that you can use for scanning items to Amazon, checking the price. One thing, I'm going to go back to the Profit Bandit page a moment. So, you know, we see all this stuff. One thing I can do right from Profit Bandit, and I can do that by clicking on the title here, is it brings up a page that looks something like that. And you can search different things, and what I use is actually that top one sometimes, and that is to search camel, camel, camel. I won't do it on this, I wouldn't have done it on this one, but if I click that and click done, I get a message that says camel, camel, camel is down. But if it wasn't down, what I would see would be the graph showing the highest price that this book is sold for, the lowest price, the different details that camel, camel, camel normally shows you. I can't believe it's down right now. I'm trying to make this video. But anyway, and I would use that maybe for an item where there was none there. So, like, all I had was maybe the list price to go by. I'm like, well, what does this book regularly sell for? How often does it sell? That sort of thing. And I can see that by using, like, the Camel, Camel, Camel app, which is just, like, one button away in Profit Bandit when apparently it's working. But it's not working today. So guys, that was a long and rambling video, but the point was to show you it's really easy to do this. You don't need special equipment to scan books. I mean, you can get a barcode scanner and plug it in, and you could probably do it, in half the time that it takes you, but it doesn't take that long anyway. So, instead of 2 seconds, it takes you 1 second or something like that. So, do you need a barcode app? No, you don't. And a lot of people that do this do not use barcode apps. If anything, I feel like the barcode, I said app, but the barcode plug-in tool makes it maybe even a little bit more suspicious when you're at stores that might give you a hard time about scanning, like Target or something like that. I mean, I've never been stopped, but if I was stopped at Target, I would just say I was looking it up on, whatchamacallit, on Cartwheel. Because I do that regularly with items too, to see if, there's any Cartwheel deals on it. So anyway, that's how to scan items for Amazon. That's all I do. I don't have a scanner. I just use my phone, and the camera on my phone will scan the barcode for me. So really easy to do, guys, if you are interested in getting started with this and want to figure out how to do it. As long as you have a smartphone, you can do this. It's not going to work with your BlackBerry. It's not going to work with your, old flip phone. But if you have a smartphone, it will work.